Hi everyone, it's Sunday the 13th of November, Simon Keeling here, and taking a look at what's coming up during the next few days. And there are times, you know, when the weather just doesn't play ball, and this is one of them. It looks like we're going to go into a fundamental change of pattern, I believe, end of this week, beginning of next week. We're going to break out, I think, now of this high pressure that we've had for some time. It may only be a temporary break, but I think it's kind of on the cards. Let me show you why I think that's the case. These are the 10-day, 7 to 10 day mean 500 millibars heights and anomalies. ECMWF on the left, GFS here on the right, and if I just move it across there, you can probably see it more clearly. This is for the period from next Sunday, so this is from the 20th through to the following Wednesday, so we're getting up to the 23rd, and you see then the mean heights still are above normal out towards the east of the country on both the ECMWF and the GFS, so still that blocking pattern coming in. But this is quite interesting, this trough here, look, that's developing off the northeastern coast of the states, southeastern parts of Greenland, and a further ridge building here off the eastern coast of the states. So the pattern that we get is a ridge build here off the eastern coast of the states, a trough in the Atlantic, and then a ridge coming across central parts of Europe. Now, what I think is going to be happening is that this trough moving eastwards allows the jet stream to kind of get some strength going across the British Isles, particularly I think across more central areas of the British Isles, and that could bring in a spell of more unsettled weather. But jury's still out on it, and my confidence still remains fairly low. GFS is trying to pick up on this too. These are the rainfall predictions for the next week, so this is up till next Sunday the 20th. Look how most of the rain is, yes, out towards the west, which is exactly what we'd expect to see. So most of it out here, only looking at 5 to 10 mil during the week, but look, staying dry in the east and completely dry in some places. This area of dry of Europe is basically the centre of that area of high pressure, which is bringing such dry conditions. Now, looking at the following week, again, remember this is the GFS model. Looking at the following week, so this is going from Monday the 21st to Tuesday the 29th. Look how much wetter it's become. Do you notice that? Look at the difference here. And yeah, these are blue colours that are coming down these western coasts. That's 30 to 40 mil of rain. Less so down the east with 20 to 35 mil of rain. But this is kind of hinting at this idea of the jet stream starting to try to do something, I think, during next week. I'm formulating the idea of perhaps the 24th, 25th as being the time when we start to see a breakthrough of the Atlantic westerlies, although, as I said, that's probably only like to be temporary. This is the anomalies for the next week from Sunday the 13th to the 20th of rainfall, and you can see well below normal rainfall for most of us. Okay, let's just show you another couple of charts that I've been looking at. This is the Arctic oscillation forecast for the next 14 days, and I'll just move myself around a little bit on there. There we go. It's this bottom area here that we're interested in. Arctic oscillation, basically, when it's positive, is when we've got strong westerly winds going around the Arctic Circle. That's basically the jet stream. When it goes negative, so when it dips below this line, that's when we get weaker winds. So we get weaker westerlies, and we tend to get colder conditions across Europe. Now, look at what's happening here on the forecast. Remember, these are just from forecast models, but notice how it kind of bimbles along at neutral, and it hangs around with the weather of a non-very descriptive regime. Pretty much what we've got at the moment: dry, not a lot going on, probably fairly mild. But then look what happens in the final stages. Look, it goes positive. This is the hints of that change towards the end of this forecast period. So as I say, this is this 24th, 25th period, and if we bring the North Atlantic oscillation up as well, North Atlantic oscillation, when it goes positive, a westerly is coming across the Atlantic, negative are basically easterly, so cold for us. And if we look at the bottom forecast here, this is the 14-day forecast. Look how we're in negative territory, but then look what happens. It starts to go positive right at the very end of the forecast. So this is all building up my picture of the weather probably staying fairly dry, I think, for the next week, perhaps 10 days, and probably above normal temperatures, but feeling cooler middle part of this week. But then the temperatures will be coming back up again. But then I think this idea of the back end of middle to the back end of next week, so we're looking at the 24th, 25th sort of time, perhaps breaking down into westerlies and becoming more unsettled for that week, before we then probably go back into more of a blocked out pattern, so dry conditions into that first part of December, and probably still staying fairly mild. I do think though, during this period 24th, 25th till perhaps 2nd of December, in that period we could see some cold conditions, perhaps even some snow across the highlands of Scotland during that period, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some gales too. Always less rain further down to the south. Okay, hope that's something useful for you. That's some latest ideas, that's what we're building on. And as always, this forecast is kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here. So if you see one that you like, click on it, go through to the advertisers. That generates revenue for us and it keeps the forecast free of charge. And don't forget to tell your friends about the forecast. Thanks for watching and keep the sun shining.